Welcome to the Morning Track Power Hour. I am Dr. Andrew Scaff. He is Dr. Michael Werman, Esquire. On today's show, we'll eventually talk a little bit about the Winter Olympics that are underway right now. May talk briefly about the college basketball season as we're getting closer to the tournament schedules that are will eventually be dominating some of our discussions here later in the show. But we'll start today with a little bit of NFL offseason news. There were a couple of moves and that were already made, and one or two that are maybe on the horizon here, Mike, for like free agency releases of players. Maybe teams trying to like cut some of their uh, excess like salary expenditures. We've got Tyreek Hill being released from Miami. Uh, Tua Tagovailoa maybe coming soon. Kyler Murray from Arizona maybe being released soon as well. And also found out today that Kenneth Walker is unlikely to be franchise tag, so he's likely to become a free agent this season uh, for just winning the Super Bowl. Mike, any of these free agents interesting to you? Are the stories interesting? I mean, like players being released that are still under contract interesting? What of this you know, is intriguing to you, Mike?
Well, I guess I looked through most things from a Kansas City Chiefs lens and try to see which players the Chiefs might pick up. All the Chiefs have a lot of salary cap issues of their own, and they're likely to release some players. I think they're likely to release Jawan Taylor, the right tackle. Um, Maybe they're even going to have to trade somebody like Trent McDuffie to clear up some salary cap room. Trade, restructure um, Patrick Mahomes' deal, restructure Chris Jones's deal, or do something with him, maybe trade him even.
Right.
Um, so you kind of wonder who the Chiefs might end up with. I guess of those players you mentioned, the only one that it seems like the Chiefs would try to get, maybe you could say Kenneth Walker, but probably more likely Tyreek Hill. Would he come back on a lower, very low salary to play with the Chiefs again, which
Right.
he had that devastating injury, so I don't know if he'd be um, the player he was before, or when he might even play. Would he even start at the beginning of the season or not? But he'd be an intriguing person to have, of course, on the offense, bringing reuniting with the Chiefs and Eric Bieniemy, and essentially they bring Kelsey back for one more go round and see what
Right.
Mahomes do. So that might be fun to see what Hill would have, but I don't know where Hill's likely to. Very likely to cite him where the most money is going to be, and that's probably not going to be Kansas City, but I don't know.
Yeah.
The quarterback situation is interesting because the draft this year isn't very heavy in quarterbacks. And Mendoza, I think, is going to go first overall, but after that, it's not. I don't think the quarterback depth of the class is very great. I don't know who the top quarterbacks are in the um, draft class.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't delved too deep into the draft stuff quite yet. We'll
So they
tend to
have.
get to
So
that eventually, right here for
I'm
us.
looking at Mel Kiper's list.
Yeah.
Uh, so Fernando Mendoza is number one. He's projected to be a first round pick. Um, Ty Simpson of Alabama projected to be late round one, early day two. Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss. You saw him in the um,
But I think
playoff.
he just got like an injunction from a judge, I think, to allow him a sixth season. So
He might, yeah, but
I
they think
think
he
he's
might.
going to be staying in college for another season.
Yeah, it depends.
That was just announced like yesterday, though. So that's maybe that.
Yeah, so he might be a late day two selection. Garrett Nussmeier, late day two, early day three. Carson Beck, same. Drew Aller, Penn State, same. Taylon Green, Arkansas, day three. So like Cade Klubnik, uh, from Clemson. Do you remember Cade Klubnik from Clemson? He's got one of the best names. It's a C for Cade, K for Klubnik. He's not one of the Clint Kubiak or
Comedy K's.
comedy Ks, but Klubnik, I guess, both starts and ends with a K. So,
Yes.
but he's Cade with a C. I don't know how he could succeed with a Cade with a C rather than Cade with a K. Uh,
Right.
you wonder what his parents were thinking,
Makes sense.
not giving him a crazy comedy K. Uh, Cade Klubnik, but I think Cade Klubnik sounds like a funny quarterback name. But mostly they're all day threes, and so like there's only one surefire first rounder, and
Is
that
the
is
guy from Vanderbilt
uh,
isn't coming out, I guess? Is that what it was?
is it Vanderbilt? I don't know.
Well, there's that one QB from Vanderbilt that was pretty good last year, I think. Was it? Maybe he's not. Maybe he's staying another season though, right?
Is that Diego? Is that Pavia?
Yeah, Pavia. Yeah.
Pavia. Yeah, he's
If he
Vanderbilt.
wasn't
Yeah.
listed in there like early, then he's probably staying
He's
in.
well, he's even more of a pocket passer than Kyler Murray or Bryce Young. He's only 5'9",
Oh,
so I think that's his problem.
oh, that's right. Because didn't they list him at 6 foot, but then they're like he's not even 5'10"
Yeah,
when they like measured him for one of the like bowl games or something.
yeah, something like that. He's 5'9"
Yeah.
0.75. So um, so maybe he could. Well,
Well, he
um,
must be planning on not coming out. If he wasn't listed in the, because he was one of the top QBs of last season. So,
mhm. Well, he's
but yeah, so I
played
mean, if
one,
he,
two, three. He's played 6 years in college already.
no, so
He must be coming out. Must be just
I think
maybe
he'd
not
have
as
to
on.
be coming in.
He's just maybe not on. Uh, maybe he's just not on. Says Diego Pavio will be the NFL draft's most polarizing prospect. Extremely small, old, and small. Todd
Google
McShay
AI
said he was.
says expected late day three pick, rounds 5 or 7, or undrafted free agent.
Who's that?
Google AI.
Google AI. Todd McShay declared that Pavia. I say Pavia because that's there's a city in Italy.
Yeah,
P H
I think he goes. I
Pavia.
think it's Pavia though.
Pavia.
For yeah,
Pavia. Um, yeah, Vanderbilt listed him at 6 foot, but he's
right.
actually 5'9" and a little, well, yeah, maybe not quite 5'10". So,
Even they're saying he's old. How old is he? He played
how
six
old is he?
seasons.
Uh, he is born in 2002. He is 24 right now.
That's not. I mean, that. I mean, we've
It's
been
old, but
talking
it's
about.
not. It's like Bo Nix was old too. They have a lot of old uh, quarterbacks. It seems like that's not. Yeah, although it seems like the young quarterbacks do better. Um,
Right. Well, and you expect them to have longer careers then too, because they didn't have
yeah.
2 3 extra seasons of wear and tear on them.
hmm
Yeah. But yeah. So where do you think some of these quarterbacks might be headed? Do you think they're all going to find homes, or are they going to be like stacked up as backups somewhere behind
Yeah,
some?
I guess you think that Kyler Murray and Tua are going to be, I don't know. Daniel Jones, I guess, is also a free agent. So but he's got all sorts of injury concerns right
Yeah.
now. I don't know if he's going to be ready for day one of the season or not.
You'd probably guess that he'll end up signing in India. What do you think? It seemed like
Probably.
they liked him. It seemed like they seemingly liked him last year, right? It would make sense if he ended up staying there, even though as a free agent, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, because I mean they like bounced back pretty quickly from not really being having much expectation last season with Daniel Jones as their starting QB, and then they look pretty decent though for most of
It
the year
looked really
until
good with Jones. It says
they faded at the
uh,
end.
some people think he might go back to the Vikings.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones, because he played for the Vikings last year. Last year,
and it's going to be hard to predict what the Vikings are going to do, right? Because they changed their GM, so
yeah, and they
you
because yeah
don't
they
quite
fired
know
their
what their
GM
strategy
basically
is going to
because
be until they start signing people.
he went with what's his name over Sam Darnold, Michigan
JJ
JJ,
McCarthy.
McCarthy, yeah, Michigan
Yeah.
quarterback McCarthy. But
Well,
Daniel Jones,
drafting McCarthy and then keeping McCarthy over,
yeah,
right?
I think that was one of the things we had talked about on the Power Hour many times.
That's right.
That because we had talked about how Darnold was a more heralded prospect
Yeah,
than McCarthy ever was, and if he could, and keeping him rather than McCarthy would have been I think a better pick because it was because
well,
Darnold was in the mix to be the top quarterback overall, or top player overall taken the Baker Mayfield year. He was taken number
right.
three um, overall,
And
and
had
McCarthy
not
was
some
like
great seasons in New York, and
yeah, and then McCarthy was like kind of universally picked as like the fourth or fifth best quarterback
yeah,
uh, that year. But he came out, so like he wasn't he wasn't Jaden Daniels, he wasn't Caleb Williams, he wasn't Drake May. Um,
right. Well, I know we were surprised when he moved, when he was drafted as high in number as he was. Anyway, it didn't seem like there was any pressure for the Vikings to take him when they did, right?
yeah, because they had this wasn't yes, no they just gotten rid of Cousins uh, because they traded him to Atlanta, and then Atlanta, of course, drafted Michael Penix the same year, uh,
Right,
which was crazy. Um,
right.
so yeah, I don't.
And
Yeah, I don't know
that
what the
that
quarterback.
didn't
So we
play
have,
out
I guess,
well
Kirk
either.
Cousins is also maybe a free agent at this point, or somebody who's looking to go someplace. Geno Smith might be available as well, of course.
Mhm. Well,
Um,
yes.
I hear that. So, according to Jeremy Fowler, he says that Minnesota is where a lot of those players would want to go because they could get a starting opportunity there over McCarthy.
And have some pretty elite receivers to throw to. So
Yeah, yeah. You have
yeah.
Addison, you have Jefferson, um, some good players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause, a lot of starting jobs, you're like, going to a team that isn't very good and doesn't have the tools that you want. And so, like, if you're getting drafted into number one, you're going to have a pretty not great team around you,
yeah, yeah.
right?
So Minnesota,
But
yeah,
being like
Minnesota's like
selected to go move
kind of problem
into
because they're in a tough division, but they're a good team.
what's that?
I'm sorry, I'm stuck. I think my computer's freezing on me. Um, um, but yeah, Minnesota is one of those places where they could be a playoff. They were a 14-3 team a couple years ago, and they could be a playoff team again this year. They're in a tough division. The NFC North has become a tough division with Chicago being a pretty good team, Green Bay being a pretty good team, and Detroit being a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you could still see that Minnesota uh, is they're a solid uh, solid team. Kevin O'Connell's a good coach. It seems like he's even able to he, he's made the playoffs. I think 2 or 3 seasons, maybe not last year, but a few seasons before that. So, but yeah, it's one of those places where yeah, is that where Kyler Murray ends up? Is that where I don't know Tua? You worry about Tua anywhere because he's one injury away from being
Yeah.
just done.
Right.
Kyler Murray, I think, needs a change of pace, and he's a solid quarterback, but he's not, never quite as um, good as the hype was
Hmm.
for him.
You'd think that
Um,
Minnesota is going to
and he's
want
always
like
and
a
he's got
somebody with a huge arm, though. Like, right? You wouldn't want to bring. I wouldn't think that they would be interested in Tua because the worry is always that not only is he injury prone, but he also doesn't have that big of an arm though either.
well, he did lead the NFL in passing for his year when he was in Miami when because he had Waddle and Hill, so he's got the players to
Right.
throw to. So maybe
Right.
he's an
They
accurate
also
passer.
had like Achan and those running backs that were pretty
Yeah.
crazy too. So like he made a lot of it was like a lot of short passing that turned into big games because they had such a dynamic offense.
hmm I think O'Connell he's always done pretty well on the offensive side. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just yeah, I would say maybe but Kyler Murray I think is a good fit there. Um
Yeah. Of the
Minnesota.
options that we've talked about there as free agents, like man, maybe it's probably the best choice, but I don't know. Who knows?
You kind of wonder what and
Yeah.
there's also you have some recent cast offs like Malik Willis, he's going to be a free agent. Is he a
Yep.
viable starter? Is Anthony Richardson, who's still very young, from he's been injured. Let me see how
Yeah.
old Richardson is. He might be younger than
Yeah, he can't be much more than 24,
he's
25.
20
I
he's
think.
23. He'll be 22, 24 in May. So
Yeah.
he's younger than Pavia is.
Yeah. That
Um,
makes sense.
Sports Illustrated says that they might trade, so they could trade Richardson to the Rams, the Vikings, or the Commanders. Uh, I don't know if Richardson would, uh, he'd be a backup at all those places, but
You'd think.
maybe
But
not with the
coming off of all
Vikings.
those injuries, you probably wouldn't want to rely on him as being the number one QB, like as the expectation out of
Yeah.
like going into the preseason. But yeah, just to touch back on that on the Kenneth Walker though, right? You find it unfortunate though that like a player helps lead your team to a Super Bowl in an unexpected season to win a Super Bowl and then it's just sort of like out after that year.
Yeah, I guess it's just what a running back is worth nowadays.
Yeah.
Unless you're really the top, like you're Bijan Robinson or Saquon Barkley or somebody like that, maybe you're somebody who is considered to be a little fungible.
Derrick
Um,
Henry type.
Derrick Henry type, yeah. Walker was really good, but he's not really a good receiving threat out of the backfield. So maybe that's partly his issue. And the Seahawks that had Charbonnet most of the year who did pretty well, and some other guys. So uh,
Hmm.
maybe they'll bring him back. But yeah, it's or maybe I guess maybe the Chiefs could pick up somebody like that. They need I think they need a higher end running back probably. They haven't had
Yeah.
one for a while. Not since a young Kareem Hunt have they had really a top back, and that was when the Chiefs had Hunt, um, that was when their offense was really humming. Um,
Right.
like the early days of Mahomes, the 2018 year.
But he
Um,
was the guy they picked up from the draft though too, right? That wasn't
yeah, they
like
drafted him in the third
yeah.
round. Yeah,
They haven't really
so
gone after a big running back in ages. They're like a Marcus Allen. That's like the
well,
last running
Kyle,
back you can think of that they went after that
yeah,
was
I guess
established.
They drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round a few years ago.
Yeah.
That didn't turn out so well.
Yeah.
But they haven't, yeah, a free agent running back that they've gone after. Um,
I mean, Kareem Hunt, I guess,
Kareem
right?
Hunt, I guess, yeah, picking him back. But nobody, no like top level of running. Yeah, it's been, yeah, Marcus Allen maybe. Um,
I think ESPN has an article out right now about the the 50 best free agents and where they think that those 50 free agents may end up. They do
Hmm.
have the Chiefs picking up a running back in this scenario. It was the Travis Etienne. What do you think about that? If that were a potential pickup, would you be excited about
Well,
that?
ETN's a better player, I think, than anybody the Chiefs have right now. I don't think
Yeah,
he's I don't know I don't know if he moves the needle that much, but I think he's a good running back. He
right.
instantly becomes the Chiefs' best running back probably.
Yeah,
Um, so maybe that would be a good pick. I think the draft. I think there's a guy out of Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, is considered to be the number one overall pick in terms of running backs, and somebody who may actually be a kind of game breaker in terms of quality. Somebody like a Saquon type, um, and he might be available at number nine. So that might be you don't want to overvalue a running back, but in some ways running backs have become undervalued uh,
yeah, it seems that
lately.
way. Well, especially
Yeah.
just because we're talking about Kenneth Walker, I looked at his contract too, and it was yeah, he was only getting paid like 2.7 million on the last year of his rookie deal. So that that gives you an idea as to how little the running back position is commanding out of the draft. And and if they were to franchise tag him, it would be like a $14 million contract for the next
Yeah.
year. So that's like a 11, $12 million increase that is more than what almost any team is going to be willing to pay in as an increase at the running back position, right? It's just
Yeah, you think, or yeah, so maybe the Chiefs would sign somebody like Kenneth Walker, but they would, I think maybe they wouldn't sign at 14 million. I don't think they would pay that much.
well, I mean, that's just the franchise
Whatever
tag is like
this
what the
tag would
average
be,
in top
average
three or top
top
five.
five, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like coming out of the draft, the salary is only here, and the top five is like way up here. And there's not a lot of contracts in between, right? It's like
Uh-huh.
most teams are just picking up the young guys out of the draft, late in the draft or undrafted, and making them like into decent players, serviceable players, and that's like all they're really looking for. It seems like, right? So like there are a lot of inexpensive running backs and a few very very expensive running backs, which would make it almost impossible for player coming out of their free agent or their rookie contract to be like kept around under that franchise tag mechanism, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Yahoo Sports also says that they think Travis Etienne might be an upgrade as a possibility
For
for
the
the
Chiefs.
Jaguars, for the Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. What
yeah.
what would your expectations be for Tyreek Hill though? Do you think he'll be ready early? Do you think he'll be not playing for part of the season and then try to give it a go like as the season goes on?
Yeah, I don't yeah, the question is, when's he going to play? Um he missed most of the 2025 season after dislocating his knee and tearing his ACL in week 4.
I would say it was
So that
pretty
happened
early. I couldn't remember
early.
when it was. Yeah.
But he really got hurt. Um so maybe he'll be able to return by the start of the season, but maybe not.
We don't
Uh
expect him to be at full strength day one
no.
of the season. Much like we
No.
probably don't expect
Mahomes,
Mahomes to be ready either at that
yeah.
level.
Yeah, you don't know what Mahomes will be like.
Yeah.
Though
So
you
you think
don't
the
need
Chiefs would be willing to
I
go like
guess
the beginning
I
of the
guess if you're
season
Lindsey
with
Vaughn, you don't need an ACL to do anything. So maybe Mahomes could play.
no.
I guess maybe he had a catastrophic injury like Vaughn had without his
Yeah.
ACL. Um,
Afterwards. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, do you think the Chiefs would be willing to take on like multiple players that are not necessarily going to be ready for week one? just to see what happens. Yeah, like, they're gonna do that with Mahomes, right? But like, do you think they're
Yeah.
gonna be willing to take on other players that also might not be ready?
Well, you
We,
wonder who they're going to pick as a backup quarterback then, because they'll need
yeah,
some if they don't think Mahomes will be ready, they need somebody who's actually decent to keep them
right.
in playoff contention.
Yeah,
While Mahomes, if Mahomes is out for the first 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
yeah,
um, so they'll need maybe they would pick up somebody like I don't know, maybe Tua or would back up Mahomes or
yeah.
uh, somebody like that. I don't know. Tua's gonna be way too expensive, I would guess,
I would
um,
assume.
but maybe Geno Smith or something. Maybe there would be a backup that is legitimate. I don't think Minshew's. I don't know. We didn't see much of Minshew, but
But he had a pretty serious injury also.
yeah, he was injured. Not quite as serious as it turned out, as they thought, but
Yeah,
enough to stay out of the stay out of the rest of the season. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know who the Chiefs' backup. Yeah, Oladokin was not the answer. Shane Buechele was not the answer. Um, so, um,
You wouldn't think that they would go back to the older, like elder statesman sort of QB, like when Mahomes was the rookie early in his career, right? Because you
yeah,
know that
I
he's
don't.
he's got to be ready to play week one, not just like be a hold the fort down, right? Type of guy. Like you want him to be able to play, and they don't have a running game that they can just hand the ball off and be fine, right? Like he's gonna actually have to like move and throw, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Like in the
Russell
old
Wilson.
days of the Chiefs,
I see somebody picking Russell Wilson. The Chiefs signing Russell Wilson as the backup if Mahomes
I
is
think
out.
I would think that would be surprising.
Yahoo's predicted Russell Wilson as the backup.
Mhm.
Um, they did sign Jake Hayner, if you remember that signing in the offseason. Saints' third quarterback this
Mm.
year, Jake Hayner, behind Rattler and Shuck. Um, but he's probably camp depth, I would guess.
Yeah.
Um, Somebody says maybe Derek Carr, if he's back. I don't know where Derek Carr has been. Did he play last year?
And he retired, but there was just recently an article about him saying that he would be willing to come out of retirement. The situation had to be, exactly right. So I don't know what that is though either. Maybe that's
Yeah.
somebody that Minnesota should be trying to encourage to take a look there, right?
Yeah.
Because he definitely has the arm to make some of those wide receivers interesting too, right?
Yeah. I see Russell Wilson mentioned in a couple of places.
Yeah, I'm shocked if he well one is wants to take a backup role, like a known backup role, right?
Yeah.
But and then knowing like what he was seemed like he was like in Denver. I don't know that certain teams would be interested in wanting to recruit him either, right? Because they don't know what
Yeah.
what all what else he's bringing with him. Right?
I also see Jimmy Garoppolo mentioned,
Yeah,
Joe Flacco.
he's still around, wanting to play.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
maybe one of those guys. I don't know. Um, as a potential backup quarterback.
yeah,
Um, Maybe bring back. I could see Minshew coming back.
yeah. They'd have to be really confident that he's ready to play in week one.
Yeah.
It's like they can't wait. They can't grab somebody that they expect to not be ready then, right?
Yeah, I think Minshew's only he only had like a he didn't have a torn ACL. He only had like a bone bruise or something, I think.
Drained something and bruised
Yeah.
something else. Yeah. Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, I've seen mentioned as well.
Yeah.
Basically, it seems like anybody has been mentioned. Yeah, I don't know. I think the um, yeah, yeah, it's certainly not a done deal at this point. We'll see. We'll see what I think that might wait and see what Mahomes' rehab is looking like before they decide what kind of quarterback they want to get as their backup because they're going to have to restructure his salary probably in order to afford much of anybody. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. Um, do you want to should we move on to uh, Winter Olympics? We did mention
Sure.
Lindsey Vonn and knee injuries.
Sure.
Um, lack of ACL. Have you been watching the Winter Olympics? Anything catch your eye?
I've
Uh,
caught bits. I watched a little bit of like some skiing, a little bit of the skeleton, Mike. Well, mostly I've been just been watching the skeleton. I don't know. Is that does that interest you? The head first sort of luge track
I've been
event?
watching some of that. Yeah, I'm surprised that yeah, it seems like the Germans are very good at those sliding sports, the luge and the bobsled.
Yeah.
Um, I watched some of that. I had been watching some of the figure skating. Ilya Malinin, the American quad god, as they call him, really
Right.
screwed up and finished eighth when he was probably predicted to win the gold.
Yeah.
Um, the figure skating hasn't been as good for the Americans since they had the team competition. They won that, but then they haven't been as good.
No.
Speed skating has been. I've watched some of that. I watched the. Do you like speed skating?
I've seen a little bit of speed skating. The funniest thing is the team, the relays though, right?
Oh, the short track on the short
Where they
track.
actually like shove their teammate ahead.
Yeah, short track speed skating is so dumb. I think because they always crash, and like
A lot of
it just whoever
crashing.
doesn't crash gets like wins. Uh,
Right.
and then they're like, yeah, I like the long track speed skating because
Yeah.
it seems like it's not just about who falls into whoever and that like the luck of the draw. It's actually you have a good time and you win rather than
Yeah.
after the Apollo Anton Ono short track speed skating guy. Uh,
Yeah.
I just think it's dumb because they just crash, and then like the person who causes the crash gets disqualified, and like the person who gets crashed into first gets to go to the final because they got crashed into, and then they have to like determine who the winners are because based on the crashes and like it's all stupid. They have like nine guys racing around a little track. Those relays are really funny to watch because yeah, like you said, like they push each other. Yeah, but I don't I like I like the big uh 400 meter like the big track and field size um
Right.
uh speed skating track rather than the little arena speed skating track.
Yeah.
So I feel like that determines who the fastest people are rather than just like the rather than just having like roller derby and this random chaos as who crashes into whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Don't the winter sports seem to be like far more dangerous than the summer sports?
well, yeah, maybe. Well, it's cold, so you're in the cold temperatures. So I think that's part of it. Yeah, the ski jumping seems to be really dangerous.
Yeah.
You have a lot of sports with guns involved. The biathlon.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, there's what's the modern pentathlon. There's
that
some
does have a
shooting
gun.
involved there
That has some
too.
shooting. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
there's shooting involved in archery, shooting,
Yeah. There's
but
archery. There's some like target shooting too in a couple events, are there?
trap and or skeet or
Yeah.
shooting, rifle shooting, I think. And those are
Yeah.
sports you would think the USA would be very good at because we love our guns, but we always suck at those sports.
Yeah.
Um, At least not we don't carry our own weight in terms of how good they. It's like those countries with like a lot of gun control do really well. Um,
Right.
you
They
would
they
think
also
the
have like
United
some
States.
like mandatory like military service where they actually train people how to use guns. Where here it's if there's people with guns, they don't
But we
necessarily
have a
know how to
lot of
use
people in the military too, though. So you'd think they would be
them. Yeah.
better.
But
Um,
are they the ones that participate for the US? Are they military, like former
some I think
military?
are. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this is in the sports like yeah, you have the bobsled and the skeleton and luge. Those seem dangerous. The downhill skiing is a dangerous sport. A lot of the
They have
jump
like
you jump.
inflatable suits, don't they? Like for crashes, don't they like provide some like internal protection they like the for the downhill races?
Oh, do they? I don't
I
know
think
what they
so.
wear.
Yeah, I think if they like detects a crash, they get some kind of like inflation like inside their suits to
Hmm.
help protect them.
I guess the yeah, I'm trying to think of dangerous sports in the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Javelin, maybe. Uh,
Yeah, but there's not supposed to be people like
hammer throw. Yeah,
at risk for being thrown at, right? Like,
yeah. Um,
well, like all the skating events, like I mean, you've got like a an extremely sharp
blades on your
blade
feet.
on the bottom of your
Yeah,
foot. It's not like if
yeah.
you fall, it's like, oh, I just fell down while I was running. Like, well, you got to be careful where those blades end
Blades.
up, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, slide on the ice and you lose a finger or something. Yeah, you don't want that. But yeah, maybe there are more danger. Yeah, I think. I guess there's open water swimming. Maybe I guess in the
Hey,
you
you're
have
definitely
starting
going to get
time.
some kind of bacterial infection, like in your ears or wherever else, right? Just by being in an
Swimming.
unknown body of water, right?
Yeah. The kayak racing, maybe. Um, but yeah, most for the most part, it's endurance, and it's not as yeah, it's yeah. I guess because the elements are more. It seemed like they're harsher in the Winter Olympics, and yeah, that's just
Yeah.
part of. Um,
Yeah, does the
Ice
swimming?
hockey is maybe more dangerous than basketball, uh,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
or that's probably the equivalent of that. Uh, or
Does that like the danger and the risk like draw you more to the Winter Olympics times then, or is it just sort of something else that just sort of passes the time?
it's
You
a
get back to the Summer
it's
Olympics.
I like the Summer Olympics more, but I like the Winter Olympics too because I can tolerate it for once every 4 years. I think it's fun to watch those
Yeah.
new things. Um, but yeah, like Winter Olympics has like also like some of the least exciting stuff, which is kind of fun. Like curling, I enjoy. Um, you know, it's not terribly athletic.
Still on ice. I mean, you can still fall
To
on
fall
your
and hurt
face or
yourself.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
your
don't think
fingers
we haven't
pinched,
really seen
your
people that
fingers
do that.
pinched between those stones.
Very heavy stones.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's the I think the I guess there's horseback riding that could be dangerous in the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Fall off a horse. Yeah, but
So
there's no like
yeah, where's the Winter Olympics version of the horseback riding though? Where no equestrian, no
there's no
horseback.
moose riding or
Yeah.
walrus racing equivalent. Um, but I guess cross country skiing, I guess, is what is the racing uh
Right.
out and the ski and skating. I guess there's speed skating and cross country skiing
Right.
are the track type sports, but they're also like swimming too. It's who can go the fastest doing a certain thing.
Yeah. Because there's
I
kind of
guess
that, like the X Games events that they
oh
added. They're sort of equivalents in the summer
yeah,
and
those are
winter.
dangerous too. Like a lot of the jumping, like the
Yeah. The
snowboard.
skateboarding and the half pipe are kind of similar
I guess you
risk
have
probably.
they have BMX racing. It could be dangerous, I guess, in the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Fencing maybe could be dangerous.
They
They
do
have
they do
sword.
wear like masks though. It's not like you're gonna
Yeah,
lose an eye or something, right?
yeah, but they do have swords.
Yeah.
Ju
But
weightlifting,
they have like
judo.
bulbs at the end though. It's not like a
Yeah, I don't know. You can run somebody through, maybe. I don't know.
you want like full swords. You want like full sword fighting, not like the safety swords that they use, right?
Yeah. Well,
You want to up the summer risk. Is that what you're saying?
up
You
the
want them
summer
up
risk. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's risky enough in the summer. You have a heat stroke and things like that that you could get.
true. Yeah.
Um,
No.
but yeah, winters have been fun. So the hockey, I've been watching some of the hockey as well. USA's been doing really well in hockey. Both this might be the first time the USA could win both men's and women's hockey together. They actually have a good shot at winning gold medal in both of those events, I think. I think
Yeah.
Canada's a slight favorite in the men's side, but USA dominated Canada in the women's side. So um, the Olympic,
You should be getting close to the end of those in my time. I mean,
yeah, I think the gold medal matchup for the women is coming up,
yeah.
and then the tournament is coming up um, for the US. I'm trying to see the odds.
Yeah, we don't have any bets out right now on anything,
I
right?
don't have any bets. No.
Which is a rare time. There aren't many weeks where we have nothing open. There's usually something open.
Yeah, the men's quarterfinals are coming up tomorrow.
Okay.
Canada is favored minus 1,000 over Czechia, a plus 640 money line. USA is only minus 230 to plus 188 for Sweden. So the
Hmm.
USA's got the toughest. Sweden's one of the. I think they have the toughest quarterfinal matchup.
Okay.
Although Czechia hasn't been very good. I guess hasn't been very good. You think the Czechs would be better, but the
Yeah.
Swedes are. Uh, so Canada is minus 135 is the favorite. USA is plus 230, followed by Finland, Sweden, Germany, Czechia. That's for the men. For the women, I think it's probably the other way around.
Yeah, USA women are favored by 1.5 in the gold medal game. That's
Okay.
Thursday at noon, like Central Time. So that's yeah, right around the corner. Thursday at noon.
Thursday, yeah, it's coming up. Well, we'll find out before next week what happens with the Winter Olympics, and it'll be over by the time next week rolls around because it's going to be this is the last week coming up on the last weekend of the Winter
Yeah.
Olympics. So we'll have 4 more years to wait until 2030. The French Alps is the site of the Winter Olympics in 2030, so not too far away from the Italian Alps this
Right.
year. Um,
Yeah.
but then, of course, the next Summer Olympics is going to be 2028 in Los Angeles. So we have that to look forward to in 2 years, assuming that the United States does not lose the Winter Olympics because of some sort of domestic turmoil.
I think that may yeah rely on how well they handle
World
the
Cup.
World Cup this
Uh,
summer.
yes, LA 28, from July 14th through 30th, 2028. It's Los Angeles' third time hosting the Summer Olympics, 1932, 1984, and 2028. Do you remember the 1984 Olympics?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. Yeah, me too. I guess gymnastics, that's another dangerous sport, or could be.
Can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Trampoline jumping and they go like, you know, on the and that type of gymnastics too, when they go like 80 feet in the air.
Right.
That I don't know
Well,
what
the diving events, those
for
look
the
they look
diving, that's dangerous. That could be
looks
dangerous.
dangerous. I mean, they're highly skilled
Well, and
athletes.
Remember Greg Louganis hit his head on the diving board when we were
True.
kids.
Yeah, it's
Um,
true. That was like 30 something years ago, though, right?
yeah, 88 Olympics.
Yeah.
I think that's he's is he the last American to win the gold medal?
I have no idea.
He
In
won.
any diving?
He's the only man, the second diver in the Olympics history to sweep the diving events in consecutive Olympic Games.
Hmm.
Uh, greatest diver. That's um. Let's see. Hold on. Let's look at this champions. Greg Louganis. Yeah, Mark Lindsay won the 1992 Summer Olympics in 3 meter springboard, and David Budaya, I remember him in 2012 won the 10-meter platform. But it's mostly been Chinese divers after Relegatives. The Chinese have
Right.
dominated, especially in women's diving. They seem to have dominated, but also in men's. But yeah, that's diving. That's not coming up for a while. So that's another 2.5 years from now that we'll be talking Olympic diving. But
So, where do you expect the U.S. to wind up in the medal count? I think they've been hovering around third basically the
they're
whole
third
time.
right now, I think. So
Are
they'll
they gonna
probably
stay
do about
there?
the same. Probably they'll have some team sport. So if they do well in hockey, maybe they'll move up a little bit. Norway is number one right now, and they historically have been the number one medal country in the Winter Olympics. Italy is doing very well in number two, and the U.S. is hovering in third right now. But maybe U.S. It probably that's pretty good for the U.S. for Winter Olympics. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I don't know. That's what we have to look forward to. We'll see what happens. We want to talk any other sports before we sign off? We want to talk. But there's no real Royals baseball news. That's spring
No, we got
training
it.
begins in 3 days.
Yeah,
Or
the
three
first spring training game
training
for the
games.
Royals is in 3 days.
Yeah.
Be
Um,
Friday afternoon.
there hasn't been any real player news or stadium news lately.
No,
Um,
not yet.
no big free agent signings or trades.
Not in KC. One maybe note anyway for the in college basketball is my Iowa State Cyclones did win 2 games in the last 4 days against top 10 teams though. That was pretty exciting.
Beating University of Houston and the University of Kansas. Your second favorite basketball team, I'm sure, Dr. Scaff, the KU Jayhawks,
Favorite team to beat.
favorite
Yes.
team to beat.
Yes. Top two
Although,
team to beat. Yeah.
although you might be sad to learn that I think I told you this before we went on the air that K-State, of course, fired their head coach um,
Jerome
Jerome,
Tang.
Jerome Tang this season. And in the last two times K-State has fired their coach, KU has advanced to the national championship game. And they actually won it last, I believe, when Bruce Weber was let go. Whenever that was. Um,
Hmm,
um,
that 2008, something like that, right? When they won last.
KU won. They won in 20, didn't they? Somewhat recently.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah,
A few years ago they won.
more recently.
Yeah, like 3 years ago they won, 2023-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the my computer's going slowly. So list of the notable K-State coaches. So when Bruce Weber was fired in 2022, and that's I think KU won in 2022. And then Frank Martin left in 2012, and I think KU was runner up in 2012.
Uh, Thanks, Martin. Those are the last two coaches too. So that's it's not like there were a bunch of coaches in between those. I have the list
No.
of the K-State coaches up right now, and yeah, it was Frank Martin. Next coach is Bruce Weber. Next coach is Jerome Tang. So
Yeah, the runner up in 2012 and the champions in 2022. So they've
yeah,
KU. So uh, this year,
I think it's a coincidence, Mike. I'm not worried about that. That doesn't
not worried
seem
about that.
like something I should spend time being concerned about. Wow. But what the Big 12 has, I think, well, what like four schools in the top eight right now in the recent poll.
Yeah,
Are you
five in the top.
expecting the Big 12 to have a good
12.
showing in the tournament then, Mike?
I think so. I think they're the deepest or the top heaviest maybe of the basketball conferences. I think they're probably maybe the best one overall.
Yeah.
Arizona's a legitimate championship threat. So I think Arizona um, Houston probably is too. They've been really good the last several years. Iowa State seems like they've beaten a lot of good teams, and KU seems like they can beat anybody at least if they play in Can at Allen Fieldhouse. So it could be a. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Big 12 champion year. Um, do you think the Big 12 is going to win a championship?
Yeah, they're certainly capable of it. But it seems like recently it's been like the SEC that's been like surprising everybody and having like deeper runs than the Big 12 has. So I mean, they had the Big 12 still had a lot of top 10 teams last season and ended up
Hmm.
not sending very many to the towards the finals. So I don't know. I never know what to expect, especially with tournaments. But I'd like to see them have like a great showing and really have all the Final Four teams be Big 12 schools. That'd be the ideal scenario, I think. I don't think we're gonna get that
Yeah,
though, Mike.
yeah,
No.
that would be the yeah. So trying to look at the Final Four. Uh,
I think the
last year's
last
final.
couple of years it was the SEC schools were like surprisingly good.
Mhm. Yeah, Arkansas has been pretty good this year. Um, but I think the top SEC teams haven't been quite as good as they were the last few years. There hasn't been like quite the top talent. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, last year it was Houston and Florida were in the final game. So Florida and Auburn both made the Final Four. So the SEC, Houston and Duke. Um, the Final Four were all the four number one seeds
Right.
last year. Um, 2024 Final Four was Alabama, UConn, NC State, and Purdue. which was a weird one. So two number ones, a number four, and a number 11 seed. I don't remember these. I don't remember these at all. No, we were following them. Oh yeah, and then 2023 was the really weird Final Four. That was Miami, UConn was the four seed, and it was San Diego State and Florida Atlantic.
Oh
That
yeah,
that was the craziest Final Four 2023.
right.
2022 was that was the KU beat Villanova. And that was the blue blood year. North Carolina, Duke, Villanova, Kansas.
Yeah,
UNC was the number eight seed that made the Final Four, and KU beat them in the championship game.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, Baylor's had some good runs. They haven't been quite
yeah.
as good the last few years. Baylor won 2021 Final Four. They beat Houston in the semifinals, and
Then
Gonzaga
when Houston
UCLA.
was not in the Big 12 yet, right?
That was right before they started to be in the Big 12. Yeah, I
Right.
think. Yeah. But they've been good. They've been really good the last several years with
Yeah.
Kelvin Sampson as their coach. Uh,
Oh yeah, there was one other college football story that I heard this week that I wanted to ask you about maybe before we sign off this week.
okay.
Apparently the Big Ten is floating a proposal to ban the college football playoff to 24 teams. Mike, what do you think about 24 teams in the college football playoff?
That is a lot of teams. That's a lot of games. So that would be, I guess, eight buys.
That's what I would assume, yeah.
Um, it seems like
Eight
that's
buys,
more
eight
than you would.
games, then right, and
I
then
don't.
and then feeding down.
Yeah, it makes it easier to get into the playoff, I guess. But
Right.
you'd be a few more Big 12 teams in it.
Yeah.
But basically, that's the entire AP top 25 gets into
Right.
the playoff, which is, I don't know. I don't think, I think 12 isn't, I don't think 12 is a bad number as it is right now.
Yeah.
16, 24. Yeah, I don't know. Why not do 32 if if you're gonna do 24?
Why just play them? Why don't just have everybody play, right? Like,
Yeah, and I don't know if the buys actually help anybody because,
it hasn't looked that way so far, right? Because it's only like,
and because in some ways it's a disadvantage because you don't get to play that home game at your stadium, uh,
yeah,
like you would if you had a buy. If you didn't have a buy, so would
right.
you rather, if you're number one overall, would you rather play the 16 team at home and get a big boost? Uh, you would think maybe they should just do 32 and then do the first two rounds at the home sites of the stadiums and then
Yeah,
top eight at the bowl sites.
right. Yeah, that seems like it would make a little more sense, I think, but I don't think they're. It seems like they want more games because it's a lot more
Hmm.
money for the TV revenue. So uh, it doesn't seem like they want to waste a lot of time with the same format or slowly increasing the number. Now is the push they're trying to jump from straight to 20 teams, which still seems like a lot, though, doesn't it? But why stop there, right?
Yeah, I'd say the other division. I think all the other divisions are 32 teams are in the national championship bracket. So I think maybe they should just do 32. Um,
Yeah,
64 is probably too
That's a
much.
lot of extra football games, though. For
Yeah. Well, 24
for
is the same number of rounds as it is in 30 is 32 would be. So,
true
um, say 32 would be potentially five games, um,
5 weeks to play out,
5 weeks.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It would be exciting.
but
It would take
then
really
you'd
get
then
rid
you'd
of the
really
bowls.
be you'd really be pushing into the NFL playoff season too. So
Yeah.
that's what I don't know how much they want to do with that. That's like the
Yeah.
risk, I mean, right? Is that you do expand this and then you don't actually get any extra TV audience because you're getting squashed by NFL playoffs, right?
Yeah, although you have some weeks where, like in the December or something, maybe on Saturdays you would get a lot of, but that's also when NFL games are on Saturdays too, but maybe the NFL games would stay on Sunday if the playoffs were going on. But um,
Yeah. The NFL just kind of takes whatever it wants, though, right? I mean, like,
but they could just play Thursday night, or they could just play Friday. They could play
they
Friday
can take a
nights
different night. Yeah. Well, like,
because
the NBA had Christmas Day for a long time, and then the NFL just was like, "Nah, this is ours now," and just kind of took it away from them,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. So the NFL, yeah. So the college football could just do Friday nights.
Yeah.
Uh, that would be a big, because like high school games aren't on Friday nights that late in the season anymore.
Right.
So
It's done by then.
yeah, or they could do, there's one NFL game on Thursday. They could do Wednesday nights and Friday nights or whatever. It's something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
because like this is a couple weeks after the conference tournaments are over, so that you can give an extra couple of days just before they start, like Wednesdays or something like that, right?
yeah,
Where the NFL is definitely not taking up that space. There's no way they're going to compete with them on Wednesdays, right?
yeah. Probably not.
Until they decide they want to, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that proposal. We'll see what happens with college football next year. Um, yeah, so we had Indiana, an unlikely winner this year. Do you think we'll have an unlikely winner next year, like Indiana, or will it be a return to somebody like
The blue
Alabama, Ohio
bloods.
State, one of those?
Well, the extra money that's flowing into it now, I think it should encourage more randomness, really, right? Because it doesn't seem like the old big schools tend to they haven't done as well recently. The Alabamas, the Ohio States, if Indiana can win, then anybody can win now. This is signaling a new era, I hope.
Yeah,
It gets tiresome though when it's the same two, three schools there every single year, doesn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, you
I
want
get
so- I
sick
mean
of the
I
SEC.
want to see the best team. I don't want to see some random teams. I want to see the best
Yeah.
teams win. So it
I mean,
depends.
Indiana was the best team this year, though. Like they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
number
they were.
one.
They were.
They were number one, and then they actually won the game after they had the bye
Yeah.
in the playoff, and then won the
Mhm.
final. So it wasn't
Yeah.
yeah, well, they didn't kind of like luck into it or not have to play anybody on the way, like we kind of saw with New England in the NFL, right?
Yeah. Yeah. New England was, yeah, I think that was Super Bowl wasn't a little too kind to the Patriots,
Yeah, yeah,
but we'll see what happens next year with that. And we'll see what happens next week with the One Track Power. This was season 6, episode 1,
that's right.
uh, first episode of the season of our sixth and greatest season so far. We'll see. We didn't
That's
talk
what I have to see.
TV. We'll talk maybe more TV next week, see if we can figure some things out.
Yeah.
Um, um, Movies, stuff like that. I don't know if there's anything out that you wanted to watch.
Hmm.
Oscar season's coming up. I don't know if we'll discuss that or not.
Yeah, when is the they made the announcements for the Oscar nominees already?
Yeah, they've made the nominations. They released the nominations. Oscars are going to be
March 15th.
March 15th.
So we have a month, Mike. Should we try to watch some of the Best Picture nominees between now and then?
Let's see.
See if we can make accurate predictions.
I've seen.
I can guarantee I've seen none of them, so because I don't know that I've seen a movie in the
Did
last.
you see Sinners?
I have not, but I can watch it. Maybe I should watch it before. It has the most nominations, I think, this year, right?
Frankenstein was also one. I saw that one. So those are the two that I saw.
You've
I
seen
haven't
two.
I haven't watched Sinners was all right. It was not as good as people are saying it. It had a lot of nominations, but I don't think it was the greatest movie in the world. Uh
Oh,
but it was entertaining. It was an entertaining movie.
It
You
doesn't have to
talk.
be the greatest movie. It just has to be the greatest movie of this year. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to be the best movie ever. It's only up against the nominees from this year.
that's true.
But yeah, there's a lot of nominees in the Best Picture category now. Aren't there like 8 or 10 movies in each cat in the Best
One,
Picture
two,
category?
three,
Like six
four,
and six and the
five.
others, something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, 10 for the best picture.
Okay.
Um,
Would you commit to watching all 10 Best Picture movies between now March 15th, Mike?
I can try. I don't if they're on streaming anywhere.
Right, you'd be able to find them.
I have to look and see what they're on. Yeah. I've seen two, so I there's only eight I'd have to watch.
Yeah, I'd have to watch all 10, so
I'm ahead of you right now.
yes. Maybe we should try to start that just in case we decide to do it, right? So if we get to like 2 weeks or a week before the Oscars and we've only watched two of them still between us, then we're probably not going to be talking about that the next week.
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe we'll try to watch some more of the Oscars. So maybe between the two of us,
At
we can
least
watch all of them.
maybe dive them up, divvy them up then, or something like divide them up. Try
Yeah,
to
yeah, we can talk about that off the air.
yeah, something,
I
just
will have
something
to
that
look.
we could have at least some eyes on each of the movies.
Yeah, we can watch what streaming. You see what the streaming
Yeah,
situation is. Like
yeah,
if there are things that we have. I know
yeah.
you are a pirater that I am not so much.
Sometimes I can find things, Mike. That's the main thing.
That's the way you do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, oh,
no. We should try it though. We should see if we can predict the best picture winner with
okay.
some knowledge, not just by throwing a dart.
Okay.
No. All right.
Well, okay. We have that to look forward to. Next couple of weeks, we'll start watching maybe more of those movies. And yeah, we'll have a lot of excitement coming. We can make maybe we can make bets on the Oscars if you want.
Sure.
Um, I think they have odds, or they have
Yeah. There's something, I'm sure.
yeah.
We'll find
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We can make more bets on other sporting events as well. It's right in the midst of NCAA tournament basketball season, which
it.
we'll have brackets and things like that ready for.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get those set up. So we have that to look forward to. Then following the NCAA basketball, we have of course baseball opening day, and then the playoffs in the NFL, NHL, and NBA.
And
Um, did you watch any of the NBA All-Star game this weekend?
no, Friday I forgot was even happening.
I watched some of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
entertaining. It
It's
was
kind
the
of an
world
interesting
versus the
format.
U.S.
I didn't yeah.
It was two U.S. teams, the Stars and the Stripes. One of the U.S. teams was kind of the older U.S. players, and one was the younger
Right.
U.S. players, and then one was the world team. They were all three very close games, and then the young U.S. players blew out the old U.S. players in the final.
Yeah.
Um,
They were all like weren't they just like 12-minute games and not
12-minute games. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think the first thing I saw was just the final score. I was like, that's not very many points. Like I don't understand.
But yeah, if you add them up, they were like 40 something points in each quarter. Um, yeah, it was yeah, Kawhi Leonard scored 31 points in one quarter
Right.
in one of the games.
Yeah, and then I think he only won. I think in the final though, something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's a lot of points for one guy.
yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we have all that to look forward to next week. Um, and as always, I am Dr. Michael Werman. He is Dr. Andrew Scaff. We are the Warning Track Power Hour. Please like and or subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast, available on many different podcast delivery platforms. We appreciate your viewership, your listenership, your patronage, and we will come back next week with another exciting Warning Track Power Hour episode, discussing all the events of the sports world that we care to discuss, and even those we don't care to discuss. A few we'll bring up as well. Maybe we'll talk more a little more pop culture uh, and movie TV as well, since we're in a little bit of a dead spot when it comes to um, sports. We haven't quite hit March Madness yet. We're at the end. We finished the NFL season. We haven't gotten Major League Baseball started yet. So or the playoffs for the NBA or NHL. So we're still in a little bit of a limbo right now. Actually, the Winter Olympics will be over by that point too. So uh, we'll see where we are. But we wish you the best of luck this weekend if you're making bets on anything. As long as your interests do not conflict with ours, we don't really have any interests, so you can feel free to bet your heart's content to any sport that you want right now. Although I think do you have any best bets, Dr. Scaff? Are you betting the American gold medal sweep in hockey? Are you going to
Uh,
guarantee that right now?
I don't think I would do that.
Okay.
If I don't do that, then maybe you should be betting against me. That's been our method recently. Was
Yeah,
betting
I'll,
against
I'll
the
I'll
victory.
call I'll call a Team USA sweep for the two gold medals. I'll call that right now.
Nice,
Uh,
good.
so
You do
we'll
it,
see.
not me.
We'll try that. So that's what I'm calling right now. This is probably the best chance the USA has to win the gold medal in men's hockey for a long time. Uh, they have Austin Matthews and the Kachuk brothers. Uh,
Right.
a lot of good players on that team. Um, so we'll have that too. To follow. So I'm going to root for the USA to win both gold medals in hockey. The first USA men's gold medal since 1980. It would be so that would be a pretty big victory. So we'll see how that goes. We'll follow the rest of the Winter Olympics, and we'll see you back again next week here at the Warning Trek Power Hour. Uh, as always, we wish you a good day.